Alright guys, today we're doing a video. I'm going to be installing some MaxxAir fans on this Sprinter here for our buddy George Gomes at ProBuilds. Actually last year we installed all the glass on this van. This was all steel panels. We did the glass on the rear doors here, camper glass up here, and the glass on the sides. Kind of hard to see with the vinyls. We did it before the vinyls obviously. But that was an awesome project. Now it's back for some additional stuff. Be installing fans on the roof up here, and we'll go through the install and see how that goes. These are the two Maxx fans we'll be installing up top. This is how it'll look on top of the vehicle. This is a base plate that'll be installed after the roof is done on the inside of the vehicle. I mean the ceiling, I should say, because it'll get measured to depth depending on what the customer installs, and then this will get trimmed here and installed up. All right, we're inside the Sprinter right now. As you can see, the customer already started paneling the inside. I'm gonna have to remove some of this insulation here, and I believe this one here for the front one. So we'll get that removed in preparation for any kind of cutting we're about to do from up top. Don't want anything catching on fire, things like that. Climbed up to the top of the Sprinter here. We had to get some of these adapters ordered up. There's small contours for the contours in the roof. You can kind of see one there. This is kind of base plate. This base plate over here is too flat, so it wouldn't sit flush on this style roof. So they make these brackets, or adapters I should say, to kind of battle that. There's contours on the side to make up for those. Two on the sides. The front is already flat, so there's no contour there. The front adapter actually has two small contours to make up for both of the center pieces that stick up. We'll get to that part later. So I have this laid out as a template as to where I'll be cutting out this area to install the flat bracket and then the fans themselves. Marked the square where I'm going to be cutting. I'll remove this, drill some holes to have access for the saw, and just start cutting away, keeping it tight to the line. All right, in typical me fashion, went on lunch and forgot to turn the camera back on and record. So what we have here is I drilled 4 holes in each corner. Well, 1 hole in each corner, so 4 holes total, in order to have access to the saw here. You can use a jigsaw, we have an air saw. Cut out the square. Before that, I guess I'll work backwards here a little bit. I use this as a template to find my square. It only sits really one area in between these channels and the back, the little hump right here. So use that as a template. Did my 4 holes, air saw, cut it out. Then I made sure the second portion fit in, and then again I use this as a template to mark the holes and begin drilling those out. Now we'll clean this up, prime it. We got a single stage black primer we'll use here. We're going to urethane the lower bracket to the vehicle, and then urethane in between these, sandwich it all together. here we are up top again. Got everything installed. Used the window urethane to seal both the spacer and the actual bracket. So everything got sandwiched with urethane, cleaned up. Now we'll mount the actual fans to the blades. So fortunately, unfortunately, I do a lot of different things here at the shop. So in between doing all this, I've been doing other things around the shop, and I kind of forget to put the camera back on, so I'll just do a recap. We urethane the spacer for the contours again on the roof that I showed earlier. We urethane that to the vehicle, urethane in between the bracket and the spacer, and sandwiched everything together with the provided screws. All that's left really is we're gonna mount the fan onto the bracket using these 4 screws here. So you'll see me lay it in and then just run the screws in. Lift these up a little bit so you have easier access to the holes on the sides. Actually had to trim the wood on the inside a little bit that the customer had already installed. So that was another thing we did in between. Make sure your cables don't get pinched. Just run these screws in right through the sides. The holes will line up relatively easy, especially if you lifted the brackets the way I suggested. Line up all your screws first, and then as you're tightening them, you're going to want to keep pressure down because there is another seal right there. So you want to make sure as you're tightening, the seal is sealing so you don't have water problems in the future. Again, keep pressure down. Not too much that you're going to break it, but enough that it seals. So I'll be posting more pictures throughout the video that we have little bit better views of the contours on the spacers and things like that. And that's it. From here, just go on the inside, wire everything up, and get the fans going. Here's what they look like with the Maxx fans, with the covers all the way down.